Sparse up here in the Rockies in springtime. The birch trees haven't leafed out yet. They flutter with flashes, white as I roll by, showing the wet places from the dry draws. Sparse, but not barren. It's greener up here than you'd think. Most of the open-range cattle herds you see include new baby calves romping around with their rocking horse seesaw way of running. Sparse enough to hear the world alive, even this close to the interstate. It's after 9 p.m., and the sky is just barely clinging to the last violet light. Diurnal sounds from everywhere, as the most active time of day for most critters swings in swiftly. I can hear the unaware rodents scratch at the ground. Some big, boisterous waterfowl makes a gribbling honk sound. It sails out above the regular chirps of tree birds. It calls again, away across the silent railroad tracks and down by the next bank beyond. More than a stone's throw, but an easy rifle shot if you had the light. Sparse traffic fits in among the other awake sounds, leaving space between the noise. The little trickle of water below the tracks speaks. My own footsteps seem louder, and I unclip my jingling keys from my belt loop to stuff and silence them in a fleece-lined vest pocket. I'm glad for the silence, and just as I really turn my head to ponder it, I round a corner and spot a worry line on the face of the great sky above. The brow furrows and quivers, and the line grows closer. 50 or more geese in a lazy U-shape. The air is thin up here, no need for the tight arrowhead. I hear their wings in the Idaho air. Light's fading, but the chip-sealed road is easy enough to walk, and my eyes are adjusting slowly. I almost head back to the truck, back to my warm sleeper cab, behind the driver's seat, back to the Wood Brothers album that I want to finish before I nod off. Something makes me keep going. There's still something more to this walk. 50 yards and another bend in the road reveals it. The object has straight lines and an even, light-colored surface that stands out as man-made among the trees. I light it up with my phone and follow a little half-trodden trail that other curious walkers have made. The small concrete building still barks its warning in black, blocky painted lettering. Danger! Explosives! It looks just like an above-ground grave in the old New Orleans cemeteries. I bet there's a door. Walk around to the other side, notice the splotches of orange lichen clinging to the slab at eye level. Entryway on the downhill side, facing the tracks. Rusty old iron door swung wide open. Dark inside, waiting, dead silent. Feels like something's in there. Hesitate for just a moment. Then the push, the inexplicable courage, the steady forward movement that comes from somewhere down in my gut and takes over when my brain is frozen up with fear. Ready, but not jumpy. Eyes wide, eyes along for the ride as they drink in every detail that lands from under the beam of my phone flashlight. Symbol roll moment, then nothing. Empty. Clean even. No graffiti, no trash, just smooth cement walls and some ancient iron fixture there rusting on the floor. Rush of emotion as I take a step inside and examine the floor. Guard is down now. Some scattered bones from a long-dead mammal, maybe a coyote. Ah, a reward. Rare orange, a beautiful little brown feather with its quill stem showing the color of early tomatoes from last summer's garden. Then I glance up in the hidden corner and look her in the eye. A shot of reflex from both of us, instantaneously, like lightning. Scraping talons, fluttering wings against the slab, shuffling of boots as I take a step back and crunch down onto the grass outside. The bird scrambles out the only exit and flies right past my head. She leaves a dribble of bird shit on the wall. I laugh, think back to when my nerves were better, when so much sneaking around in train yards made me almost unflinchable. My coworker, Flynn, would try to jump out and scare me all the time at my theater carpentry gig back in New Orleans, usually to no avail. It takes an honest scare to get me these days, which is fine. It's been nearly 10 years since I really had to hide for my life or for freedom. Some skills should fade with age. I pick up the feather, then gather up a couple of bones to make into buttons for my leather work. There we go. Now it's a walk. I clamber back up the bank, trying to keep my mind calm. Only real irrational fear I have in the dark is cats. I think a big cat in the wild is about the only thing that could get me. Once I'm out of the scraggly trees, the self-indulgent fear fantasy of claws suddenly in my gut fades away. It's cold now as I hoof it back to the truck. I try to keep one hand warm in my vest while the other carries my water jug. Clear night, and the stars are good and out now, but the moon won't rise for a while. I resist the urge to use my phone light. The road's wide enough. I won't go stumbling into the ditch. Cars and semis still occasionally pass on the freeway above, blinding me with their LED high beams, but also partially illuminating my way. Tomorrow I'll cross into Montana and drive this unique truck nearly the entire way across that great state, delivering fertilizer to a farm somewhere out there. Then I'll find another out-of-the-way place to stop, and before I go to sleep, I'll take another walk.